Hi everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the CertiK Security Leaderboard Showcase. I'm your host, Aaron Leibowitz, and as you all know well by now, in this showcase we host a guest for a live AMA where we discuss their work with CertiK, the Security Leaderboard, and of course we throw in some live questions from you, the viewers. Our goal is to raise the standards of security in the DeFi ecosystem. The Security Leaderboard, found at CertiK.org, is a free tool to help you DYOR. Today, I will be joined by the EverRise team, contributing 50 billion RISE tokens for today's top live questions. Make sure to go ahead and read the rules on the Twitter post at CertiK.org in order to qualify for rewards. So thank you to the EverRise team. Please remember to like and subscribe before we jump in here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at EverRise's Security Leaderboard. This is what you see when you land at CertiK.org. As you can see, the Security Leaderboard has tons of top projects that you've heard of. On the right side, you'll see the score risers and fallers, as well as the community alerts. Let's head over to EverRise's page. Here you can see the audit. You can view the PDF to read the full report. Scrolling down, you'll see the Skynet running, static analysis, as well as all of the other primitives. Now you can go ahead and see the different tabs in the Skynet. You can look at monitoring, governance, safety, and the Oracle. Now let's bring in today's guests.
Hey guys. Hey everyone. Nice to finally meet everyone with showing our faces.
This is a new thing for us. We haven't done it yet. So I'm TJ, known as Justin.
And I'm Andrew, also known as Drew.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing the docs reveal live here. Looks like you guys have a very active community. They are asking tons of questions and very excited to see you guys already.
Our community is the best.
I think we have the #1 community in terms of active to members and just what the consistency. Like we've been live for 3 weeks and just every single day.
And let's not forget to bring on our special guest today, David.
There he is.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, David.
How was the workout?
Tired as hell, man. Raced through it too, as well.
There you go.
Excellent. So why don't we kick this off with you guys introducing yourselves, your role in the team, and a little background on EverRise.
Sure. I'll kick it off. So my name's Andrew Shore. I'm from Toronto, 27 years old. I've been in crypto for a lot shorter than one would assume based on kind of the projects I'm involved in. It's been about 6 months actually involved in projects, but I was definitely interested in it before. I met Titan, the developer, just through some other projects. I was picking his brain. I could tell this guy was one of the smartest guys I'd ever spoken to or came across in all the telegrams. And I'm the type of person that if I see somebody who can do something that is better than I can do or just really impresses me, I'll reach out and try to partner with them. So we became friends. He helped me build the code for a couple other projects and help out some friends and stuff like that. But he actually pitched me the idea for EverRise. And he wanted help with the marketing side, community building, branding. So of course, as soon as I heard the idea, I knew it was one of the biggest home runs I'd ever seen. And I dropped a lot of what I was doing to help him do that. And now here we are. So I focus a lot on the business side, marketing, branding. I was the one who kind of orchestrated the logo and website.
Yep. Awesome. I mean, you do a lot more than that, but that skims the surface of it. My name is Justin Tyler. I'm actually a Billboard charting country artist turned crypto as of COVID, because as you guys know, music during COVID was just gone. So my friends and I used to get together every day. We'd work out. We'd look for some coins. We found SafeMoon, and pretty much that was the start of everything. Andrew got into crypto, and then we started doing projects together, and we learned a lot of things along the way. Took all that, brought it to EverRise, and I mean, now it is what it is.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
So yeah, Justin and I are really good buddies in real life. Obviously, we're in Toronto, Ontario, and
awesome. And finally, David. Somebody who needs less introduction here. Could you go ahead and give background on yourself and your role in the team?
Well, I've been in this space for quite a while. Been educating people on, obviously cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. I do have a company which is Gottstein Media, which 80% is just dumbing down cryptocurrency and blockchain technology for people. And it's obviously I'm also the CEO of PEC Protocol, Yeah, we came together here. I was doing a review on, on certain tokens, and I liked the concept around EverRise, and I started asking questions. I had the community. The community is insane, by the way. Shout outs to the community. But the entire community went ahead and chimed in, sent me a bunch of stuff for me to go ahead and review, and obviously the guys were really open in terms of answering questions and giving me anything that I needed in terms of researching the project. And then it came together, and my position with the protocol is just to be a brand consultant and hopefully help steer EverRise into the right direction. I think it's a phenomenal. I really do think it's a phenomenal protocol, and let's see what happens.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the intro. And I think that dumbing down or better explaining of things in crypto is super important. That and UI UX are my two biggest issues in crypto today. Mm-hmm. So let's dive right in here. The sort of the novelty or the really new feature that you guys brought to crypto with EverRise is this in the tokenomics setup, the buyback feature. Is that correct?
Correct.
Could you go ahead and give us an overview of the buyback model?
Sure. So Titan pitched me and all of us the buyback model. He's very well educated in stocks and obviously has seen a lot of stuff in the crypto industry. So he felt there was a need for this. It was something that he envisioned in his head, and he's capable of actually coding it into the contract. So the way the buyback works is it stores a percentage of every transaction on buys and sells, and it holds it in the contract. And the only place for that money to go is back in through a buy. And as soon as it's bought, it's burned instantly. So that we didn't know at the time exactly how big it was, but clearly people really liked it, considering there's been about 1,000 copies of us already, and that's kind of became the new standard in the past couple of weeks since we launched. Before it was kind of the way that the redistribution all holders was pioneered. Now it's all anyone can talk about is the buyback. So the biggest benefit of this is if you know how to use it properly, that's a safety net for investors, because if you see some tough market conditions or a big dip, you have this money stored, and the only place that it can go is through buys to kind of help with the market cap and add some buy pressure in when it's much needed.
Yep.
Definitely an interesting feature and really well explained there. As David said, your community is wild, and I don't know if you guys are going to make more off of holding your token or selling your hoodie, because there's quite a few requests for that right now.
Yeah. Shout out to my assistant. I put her on the merch line, and she absolutely killed it. I leaked some of the designs in the chat, and people went nuts. So she's definitely getting a bonus when those go live and people go nuts for them.
Yep. And to speak to that a little bit further, we're actually going to make it possible to buy the merch with Rise tokens.
Yeah.
I would expect nothing less.
Yeah.
Got to have it in Rise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. People love utility for the coins. Anything they can do with them is just such a thrill. So
yeah, for sure.
Coming soon.
And that'll just keep adding to the buyback fund as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, there's more than just the buyback that is sort of put away from every transaction fee. I think it was 6% that is taken off of every transaction. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And what was it? 2 or 3% of that went to a marketing budget, correct?
3%.
3%. So I mean, I live in Manhattan. I saw the Times Square advertisement live. As much as I avoid Times Square, I had to go check that out.
That's awesome.
Are there any other notable ones that you guys are having come up?
Well, our focus is really on targeting crypto buyers and people who get this stuff, because we're not like another meme token. We have actual utility and massive plans here. So we really want to focus. I mean, at the beginning, we kind of got caught in the trap a bit that everyone gets caught into, and we were looking at celebrities to deliver and stuff, and it just really causes a pump and dump effect that it's not for us at all. We're looking to really bring on serious buyers and investors who appreciate what we're trying to do here. So all of our marketing is targeting those people. We've been running crazy amounts of PooCoin ads 24/7. We do BTalk ads, just stuff more along those lines. And also we've used a lot of the marketing funds to buy back into the Kraken, because like we put 500 grand in there, I think a week ago, just to show how much we believe in this. And that's really the true celebrity and the ultimate marketing tool we have. The bigger the Kraken gets, the more the safety net is, the bigger celebrity he becomes. And that's what a lot of the clones are missing as well. They're using it for pumps to satisfy their investors in the short term, but really the longevity of the project is in that safety net.
Got it. So for this marketing budget, is this going to be decentralized? Will you allow the community in the future to vote on how it's used, what marketing you're going to purchase with it?
I mean, we often take suggestions. We listen to the community like crazy. Our community is crazy active. We have a EverRise radio that's hosted 24/7. Our voice chat is always open in Telegram. We're very open to taking suggestions. We listen to the community and we implement a lot of them. So as far as decentralized marketing, we kind of do that in a way. Obviously, we do make some decisions on our own, but we do involve the community a ton. And another thing that I want to touch on is that we're not taking the traditional approach of crypto marketing with the celebrities and quick pumps. We're going for, tier one press articles. We want to be on, big finance websites because we're a serious token. We're not a meme token. We're on a platform where there are a lot of meme tokens, but don't get confused because what we're building and what Titan's building, our D-apps are going to seriously change the crypto space for the better for all the upcoming projects and current projects.
Right. And also at the end of the day, I mean, a small team of people have to be making the decisions to be efficient. And I think we've earned the community's trust based on where we've deployed that capital already. And everything is scrutinized. I mean, with a project like this, people, if you took out multiple $1 million from the marketing wallet and weren't delivering, like people would notice and track your wallets, and we wouldn't be where we're at today if we didn't earn the trust. For
sure. So looking to the future of EverRise, can you sort of walk us through your roadmap? I know that you have the a contract holder and I think a liquidity locker coming down the line. Give an overview of those two and then anything else that might be coming.
Yeah, for sure. So EverOwn is a tool to temporarily renounce ownership of a contract by handing it over to your community. One of the biggest mistakes that new projects make, and they feel pressure from their new investors, is to renounce ownership of the contract, which is by far the number one biggest mistake you could make for a meme. For a serious project. If you're a meme token, it's fine. Renounce ownership, get some investors. You're not a long-term project anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if you have real utility, you're going to need that contract in order to make, like sometimes an exchange needs you to make a little change, or you find out a new utility you want to do and you have to whitelist an address, or you have to change one of the variables or something. So this is a way that you can hand over the contract to your community, and then once you earn their trust, they give it back to you. And we think that this will be the new standard.
Awesome.
For EverLock, it's an improvement on the way that liquidity pools are currently locked. It's similar to the idea of EverOwn, where you're actually handing over the liquidity pool to your community, because there are rare circumstances where maybe you screw something up and you need to launch a new token, but that liquidity pool is locked in there. And obviously you can't control that, because then people will be scared of you rug pulling it and pulling the liquidity pool. But if you hand it to the community and they vote to give it back to you, it's a much better option, because there are extreme circumstances where you would need that liquidity pool back.
It's all about trust and safety in the space we're in right now. I mean, you guys see how many scams are going on, and what we're trying to build is just something that's going to protect everybody, make everyone feel safer. And really, there's no reason not to use these products. Especially right. EverOwn, there's no reason not to use it.
Yeah, we think that's really going to be the new standard. And Titan is a developer himself. We've all been on core teams of other projects, so we've experienced this pain ourselves. And our goal is to solve industry issues and reinvent the way things should work and improve on them, all while using the EverRise token as the facilitator of the ecosystem, adding value to the token, adding value to future projects, and doing good for the industry.
Got it. Excellent. Well, thanks for that overview.
No problem.
So let's move on to security a little bit. In the audit, which everyone can access at CertiK.org, you had 3 critical and 4 major findings, as well as a handful of informational and minor. These are to be expected with any audit. We see these everywhere. That's the point of an audit, is to scope out these findings. But you guys chose not to take the recommendations of the CertiK team in the resolutions. Can you walk us through that decision a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So this is, I mean, we had a lot of in-depth talks with Titan about this. He's the technical guy on the team. Of course, he's the one who wrote the contract. It's a lot of the issues had to do with kind of changing variables and the ability that he was in control of it, instead of kind of renouncing the ownership. Like, a lot of their findings were that we could change this variable, but you really need to do that to control the Kraken in the way that we do it. We're looking into a lot of automation and AI, bringing that into it. But for now, I mean, I think he's earned the community's trust. We all trust him. We all make group decisions on how to do it. somebody had to have control for this to work. I mean, it's a brand new concept, and we didn't really know where it was going to go. But now that it's gone so big and so many people are involved in this, and it's much bigger than us, we are looking for alternatives. I mean, we're going to be handing our contract over to EverRise as soon as it's ready, and the community will actually own that, and that'll cross off a lot of the critical findings right there.
Got it. Well, that's good to hear that you guys have plans to resolve those. And I guess we'll keep an eye on that security score on CertiK.org as that happens to look for those increases coming through. That increased decentralization will definitely drive up the score. So one more question, a little more technical, about as technical as we'll get today, is the implementing multi-sig or even time locks for privileged operations, such as moving liquidity, whatever the Kraken's holding. Is there any reason you guys chose to not do those yet?
Yeah, like it started off as a single man operation. Titan was the one who coded the buyback, and at the time there was no reason for him to implement those because he invented it, and we didn't know it would turn into EverRise.
Sure.
So once it did, I mean, we're constantly adapting. We want what's best for the community. We want this to really succeed and be a long-term project. So we are looking at adding that in now, and we're going to do whatever's best for the community. So we've had all these conversations. I mean, we looked in depth at the audit report, and we want an 100 there. So
awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So let's talk a little more about security in general. Why'd you guys seek out an audit? What made you choose CertiK and Skynet specifically?
So CertiK obviously is the best of the best. With a project that's growing to this caliber, we didn't really have a choice. I mean, it was the only feasible option for what we're trying to build here. Security with the audit, we knew that it was going to be a tough audit because this was the first time the buyback contract was ever seen, I'm assuming, by CertiK, because we invented it. So unless somebody forked our code and hit you guys up earlier than that, you wouldn't have seen it. So we needed obviously proper eyes to look over it. Super important for us that everything was transparent. We preach transparency. We tell everybody what's going on all the time. That's our biggest thing. We know that the CertiK audits are as transparent as can be. So we wanted to just do that to give our community knowledge about what we're up to, about what the code is doing, things that needed to be changed, what we're working on, etc. Skynet specifically, a transparency thing again. I mean, the amount of scores that Skynet shows is, there's probably 10, 15 of them. So we always want to have as much information available to the general public at all times, and Skynet definitely helps with that.
And you guys are number one. We want to be taken seriously, and we want to be a top project. So we had to pass. And if we didn't pass, we had to figure out how we could, because we're in this for the long run. We're building out all of our apps. So better to find out now if there were critical issues and deal with them.
Excellent. I like that. And thank you for the shout out. We also think of ourselves as number one. So is there sort of a gap in the market, any problem that EverRise is really looking to solve? I know we spoke about EverRise before, and that's certainly one. Anything beyond that?
Yeah, I mean, we've all experienced a lot of problems. Like there's a lot of stuff that are on the developer side that we're solving, that Titan's experience. Also just with the buyback, like providing more security for the investors, because especially with these tokens that are traded on BNB, it's so heavily dependent on Bitcoin and on the stock price, on the share price of BNB, because if that drops, your liquidity pool is measured in BNB. So you might not even have people selling, but you see so much volatility. So we wanted this safety net there, so that if there is a drop of 20, 30% in Bitcoin and people start to panic sell, which kind of ripples and affects the entire industry, that we actually have the safety net so we can stabilize the price a bit. And that's the goal here. I mean, the Kraken is at $2.6 million right now, and that's not even big enough for us. Like we want it to get to 10, 15 million. We want to have 100,000 BNB in there, just to really, and that's when you're going to see the true potential of it. So that's really the goal.
Got it. So speaking to that Kraken a little bit more, can you sort of explain what happens in a bear market, how this buy pressure helps and works, and sort of, everything about it?
Yeah, we've all seen it recently. Crypto in the last couple months, it's been no secret. It's been like this, up, down, up, down. Nobody knows where it's headed. I mean, everyone has their projections, but I mean, in the event of a catastrophic crypto crash, we have $2.6 million at the moment to deploy right into the chart if need be, to stabilize the price. it's the main thing is to keep investors' money safe. That's the whole point of the Kraken. So you can go to sleep without worrying about checking the chart every 5 minutes. I mean, before EverRise, I was invested in a few other coins, and I would go to bed and I would dream about charts, and I'd wake up 45 times in the night to check the chart. And I don't have to do that anymore, because I know if there's something crazy that does happen, which, let's be real, it happens. I mean, this is real life. We have a safety net available to all investors that is clearly accessible. I mean, everyone can see the amount that's in the Kraken at all times. It's a public wallet. It's just, I think it's really setting the new standard for tokenomics.
It's also not a new concept. I mean, in the stock market, you see it. That's where it originated. So if a company's price gets too low due to other conditions or whatever it is, the company actually buys back some of the shares to instill confidence in the investors. It's based on the same model, but this is taking it even one step further, because not only are we buying them back and doing a real increase to the price because we're pumping BNB into the liquidity pool, we're burning those tokens instantly. So we're both increasing the price with buys and putting BNB in, and then also lowering the total supply of tokens that are available. So it's a double whammy.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Now, in these last 9 minutes, we got to run through a little bit of a lightning round. Let's get in a ton of live questions here, shall we?
Let's do
it.
All right. I'm going to hit you guys fast. You got to come back with some quick answers. So what's your strategy for building a strong community?
The community itself, I think, ripples into other community members. I mean, we go hard, obviously, on Telegram, engaging with contests, giveaways and whatnot within the actual community itself. And then once you do that properly, it kind of just snowballs into others.
Yeah.
We want to jump on board.
And then targeting more serious crypto buyers and people who really understand this stuff and believe in it long-term, rather than people who are just looking for quick pumps and just gambling, essentially.
With the buyback concept coming from the stock market, as you said, why do you think it wasn't implemented in crypto earlier?
I think it was, you could say that about a lot of ideas. Somebody has to pioneer it, and it's not an easy thing to figure out. I mean, it's very complicated. I could, if I spent the rest of my life trying to do it, I could ever do it. So
yeah, I mean, Titan's a genius, and it took him weeks, if not months, to come up with the code. So
he deserves all the credit. I mean, he is EverRise. We're here to support him, and obviously it's important, the branding and marketing, but really you need a great product. Like the market's tough out there. People aren't going for everything. It's a lot different than 2-3 months ago. So you need a really solid foundation, a great idea that is revolutionary. And we think we have that, and we're so lucky that we were brought into this, and he trusted us to help bring the vision to life.
Speaking of Titan, one more time, he quit his job to do EverRise full time after seeing the potential of the project. He's been working there for over 20 years. So he believes, we believe, we're here to support him, and future is bright for us.
Well said.
All right. Originally, the token was quoted as never seeing 2 sells in a row. What happened to that, and how does the Kraken change that? How will it change in the future?
So that is technically true, actually. When the Kraken is turned on, then you never see 2 sells in a row, because kind of the way it was programmed is after a sell, it triggers a buy of whatever we wanted. Like we could set that. But you got to be able to adapt. I mean, we invented this. We didn't know how it was going to go. It went very smoothly at the very beginning, and then people outsmarted us, and they built bots to kind of manipulate it. So we had to be even smarter. And that's why Titan sped up Everone, and he figured out a way to temporarily take the contract and control the amount of BNB that gets bought back to make us 100% impossible to be botted. So that was true. And it was like, you could see there's demos of it on YouTube where the Kraken was in action, and every single time someone sold, it bought back instantly. It was the way it was programmed, but we changed it and we improved it, and we're going to keep improving it. We're constantly looking at ways to use AI and really set parameters of when it should be used, and just we're here for the long term. So we need to keep adapting and outsmarting other people. It can't be exploitable.
Awesome. All right, moving on. Does your project support a staking program? If yes, how does your staking system work?
It doesn't at the moment, but we're looking into that.
Awesome.
Adding staking. And I mean, Titan's really, he doesn't go on voice chat, but he's always available, and he's always monitoring, and any of these questions can be asked them, and he loves talking on the technical side. So he'd be happy to talk about any staking plans and farming and everything.
Awesome. So what are your top priorities in 2021? Could you share some plans for the upcoming year?
Yeah, so the main thing is building the DApps, because EverRise is based around a utility. Yeah, the token is here right now, but the main point of EverRise is EverOwn, EverLock. Titan's talking about EverWallet. There's a few other things he wants to build. So it's going to really become a global crypto brand. So we're really focusing on developing those apps, getting them out to the public, marketing them, and taking it really from there.
Right. That's really the key here. I mean, the buyback function is unbelievable. That's what put us on the map, got us our traction, and proved that we have a talented developer behind us. The hype of that is going to wear off, and it's just going to become more of a safety net. So really the way to take this to the next level is to build out that utility. And that's why we're moving away from celebrities and kind of the quick pumps, and really and we're there. I mean, he already quit his job. He's already almost done EverOwn, and then we're going to launch EverWallet. So it's happening, but that's the way that we really put ourselves in that top tier. And we want to be a Cardano or something that revolutionizes the blockchain industry by solving real issues, not just another meme coin.
For sure. So is there any plan to convert some of the Kraken BNB wallet to BUSD to solidify the dollar amount in case of a crypto market crash?
I actually don't even know if that's,
I don't think it's possible. I don't think so.
Because the way that it's coded, no one can, for the safety of the investors, because I mean, if you allow that power to convert it, I think that it could probably be exploited. So he can answer that. We're not obviously we have a pretty good understanding of the technical aspects, but I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't think it's possible because the way that we code it is that only BNB can go into the liquidity pool from the Kraken. That's the only way it can go. And that protects investors the other way, that it can't be pulled out.
Got it. So how are you dealing with the problem of bots manipulating the buyback feature?
Yeah, we solved that one on day 2. We got botted. So somebody, full transparency, somebody wrote a script because we were doing no 2 sells in a row, and we hit up the Kraken. So after every sell, we were buying back at 5 or 10 BNB, kind of seeing what the Kraken could do. And somebody wrote a script to pump in a bunch of sells, and then they had a program to sell at the top. And that's, they drained it. And obviously we had to reevaluate everything after that happened. We didn't realize someone would be able to do that or do it more quickly, but we adapted. And now basically we borrow our contract and set the parameters and say that we're prepared to put 500 BNB back in and burn those coins. And it's physically impossible for it to be more than that. And we will never face another bot issue. And it's through an early version of EverOwn, where we're borrowing that contract and giving it back and locking it after the 500 BNB are used. Yeah,
the beta is already kicking full steam for us. At least we obviously have to iron out all the kinks and get it looking beautiful before we put it out to the public, but it is working and it's coming.
I see we're almost out of time here. I do want to leave a minute or so because we want to give people who maybe haven't seen it just a little live demo of the Kraken actually.
So Titan, we know you're here. Hit the chart with the Kraken.
We're going to put some BNB in right now just to show the power of it. So after every sell, you'll see.
All right, let's take a look. Shall we open up the chart?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's do actually, do you guys want to share your screen? I think you should be able to.
Okay, wait, let me
here, we're going to ask 2 more questions while we're setting this up. If we need to run over a minute or 2, we'll let that slide.
Okay, well, he actually just did it, so let me.
So 150 BNB just went in from the Kraken.
Okay, one sec. Able to see
the website link, by the way, so they can go check this out live.
Can you see my screen here?
Yep.
So after this sell, that triggered it. So we pumped in 150 BNB. So you see all these $8,000 buys.
Seeing them?
Yeah. So that's the 150 BNB. We borrowed the contract from EverOwn, do what we want to do. And we don't use this for pumps. So it was purely for a demo to show people the power of it. But after this is done, boom, the contract goes back to EverOwn. We have no more control over it. No one can touch it. Impossible to be botted. Buyback is off. And we can use that, like we could do 5,000 BNB if we had 100,000 BNB in there. So that's really the true power of it. If we see a random 30% drop in Bitcoin and our Kraken's big enough to support that, boom.
Got it. Thanks for that demo.
Yeah. And we usually try to announce it as well.
All right, let's try and get one or two last questions in here. What do we got? Come on, guys, get your last questions in. Let's
go.
Good. All right, are you guys happy with your security score on CertiK, or are you looking to improve that?
I don't know. That's more of a question for Titan. I think that, I mean, we were the first to do the buyback, so we didn't know what to expect. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I think that it was 85, which is, I mean, I was happy getting 85s in school, but for EverRise, it's a bit of a different ball game. I mean, we need to be perfect. So our goal is to get there, and we'll solve that. We truly think that once we release EverOwn into the world, that CertiK is going to adapt that, and they're going to look for that in the contract, and they'll take that as a sufficient measure to prevent against some of the issues we saw. So we think that like we're actually revolutionizing the space here.
Yes, we'll see what the future holds on that regard. All right, and last question here. Will Rise be the fuel for the upcoming dApps that you're releasing?
Yeah, they're all going to be powered by Rise to provide value to the people who hold the token. And that's the main goal here. And it's going to facilitate all the transactions.
Awesome. I think that is a very good place to end it. Justin, Drew, David, thank you guys so much. Community, you guys are awesome. Asked some great questions today.
Thank you for having us. Thanks for tuning in. Love you.
Yeah. Thank you, David. Anything, David, anything to add?
And just shout outs to the community, man. They've been nothing but awesome. And again, give us time. Let us build. That's really what I'm going to put out there.
All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And everyone in chat, catch me here next week for the next installment.